Well, hello again everyone. I'm just getting the van ready for our first trip after the lockdown has ended. Obviously we're looking forward to getting away and testing out the new shower installation. But I didn't want to book anything until I was sure I'd got it done, and it's now Thursday and we're going away tomorrow, Friday, and hoping to spend the weekend, and I have really struggled to find a spot on a campsite. I spent about an hour and a half ringing around different places. Quite a few didn't answer the phone, but those that did were all full. So I've ended up at what looks like to be a nice little site just outside Sheffield. Now, as part of our preparation, we've got a nice new sticker for the van. There's our Toner on Tour sticker. I'll put a link to their channel in the description. Getting quite a collection there now. Well, Mr. Ginge and I are just doing some checks. We've just checked the torque on all the wheel nuts. They're all fine. Checked all the engine fluids yesterday, the oil, the water, brake fluid, that sort of thing. All the levels there are fine. Check the tyre pressures. Mia helped me with that yesterday. They're all fine. But I couldn't get the fridge to work on the 240 volt. It's been on all night and it's not got cold. So I've just switched that over to gas to see if it's working on the gas. I think it's working on the 12 volt because when you switch over to the leisure battery you can see the current dip. Yeah, the fridge vent is getting nice and warm on the gas, so it's obviously doing something. Let's have a look, see if it's cooling down inside. Yeah, it definitely feels like it's starting to get cold on gas, so that's good. We can at least run on the fridge on gas when we get to the site. I did check these circuit breakers when I first noticed it, and this one was down, so this one had tripped. I reset it, but the fridge still didn't seem to be getting cold. I've got no wiring diagram which shows what these do, or have I? I might have one somewhere. Might look into that perhaps later on when I've got a bit of time. Righto, we're just about ready to go, I think. Well, first stop Morrison's, because Nikki wanted to get some new socks. Oh, well, we've stopped at Donington Services. Probably not going to go in though, probably just have a cup of tea and use the bog in the van. There we go, nice spot of lunch at the services, hey darling?
Yes, and I've got 2 pairs of glasses on. I didn't realise you were going to film me.
Just been in the little shop to pick up some supplies. Right, time to get back on the road, I reckon. Well, it's certainly great to be back in the old van again. Looking forward to getting to the campsite. Oh, there we go, we're set up nicely on the site. I've got the awning up. We've got Nikki with some wine, and I'm going to go in and make myself a nice cup of tea. Hello mate, what are you doing? What are you doing? You want to come and say hello? You want to come and say hello? Come on. Come and say hello? Maybe not. Well, the site that we're on is Bradway Grange. It's Caravan and Motorhome Club certified location. I'll have me tea and then we'll have a bit of a look round. Oh, cheers. Walk down past this field of horses and down the entrance drive, see what the view's like from the end. Well, it's a bit of a busy road to cross, but look at that. What a cracking view you get from the other side of the road. Looks like quite a nice evening. And that over there, I guess, is the start of the Peak District. Looks like the next door farm that shares the same driveway has a farm shop and cafe. Might have to give that a try tomorrow. Oh, well, back in the van now, and I've got some nice salmon and chips in the oven, and then I've got some vegetables ready to steam once them chips have started to brown off a little bit. There we go. That looks good, doesn't it? That oven does a good job of cooking the food in here.
Can we put that oven in our kitchen? It's much better than the one we've got.
It's much better than the one we've got in the kitchen, isn't it? That was a nice dinner, and it looks like it's dinner time for the sheep too. They're having a proper chow down there. What, mate? What? You daft sheep. I reckon it's about time for bed, don't you? What do you reckon? Eh? What do you reckon? I've found made myself a new mate. Where are you going? Have some grass, I reckon. Right, time to bed down for the night, I think. Oh, well, it's first thing Saturday morning. Got myself some tea. Looks like my old sheep mate just dossed down by the side of the road last night. Well, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time to try out the shower. Well, I've fitted a shower in the van. Being self-contained is our master plan. We can still keep on living our camping dream, making sure we're safe from the COVID-19. Been working on the camper into the night, measuring and cutting, not always getting it right. The government says to go back to camping for our leisure. Having our own shower is a safety measure. A field with a tap and a drain is all we really need, and a pleasant stay is guaranteed. Well, I've fitted a shower in the van. Being self-contained is our master plan. We can still keep on living our camping dream, making sure we're safe from the COVID-19. In a queue at the toilet block with your bog roll in your pocket. But when you get a cubicle, there's a log jam and you've got to unblock it. Back outside to get a stick to poke it down. And someone grabs your place. What a clown. This is something we no longer need to tolerate. Having facilities in the van is really great. I've fitted a shower in the van. Being self-contained is our master plan. We can still keep on living our camping dream, making sure we're safe from the COVID-19. Been on the beach and our bits are sandy. A lovely new shower will come in handy. Or we're sweaty and hot from a day on the hill. Freshen up in the van, lay back and chill. In luxury we can get wet and soapy, even if other areas are still a bit ropey. Took me a while to refine all the elements of my design. A textured rubber floor so it doesn't get slippy when you're getting ready for a romantic meal at the chippy. Though there's still not really room for two, so you might have to wait if someone's having a poo. Well, I've fitted a shower in the van. Being self-contained is our master plan. We can still keep on living our camping dream, making sure we're safe from the COVID-19. Making more space was a consideration, so I used a dog bowl for the basin. The walls are all lined with white plastic, with joints sealed up with silicone mastic. The thermostat valve, so it's not too hot, is a feature that I like a lot. Well, I've fitted a shower in the van. Being self-contained is our master plan. We can still keep on living our camping dream, making sure we're safe from the COVID-19. Well, we've had a nice breakfast this morning. We were going to go and have a walk up to Abbeydale Industrial Hamlet, I've just checked their website and they're still closed due to all the COVID-19 precautions. So we're just going to have a quick walk round the corner to have a look at the little farm shop that's next door. And there it is. Hello. A very woolly looking chap. How's your bacon roll, missus?
It's lovely. Pretty cool. Thank you very much, Alec.
Yeah, pretty nice little cafe, this. Well, it's a pretty nice farm shop, but Nikki's going to chill out in the van for a little while, and I've spotted a couple of points marked as shaft on the map. Now, I think they're probably old coal mine shafts, but I'm going to go and have a look and check them out. That's quite a busy B road to walk along, but fortunately there is a footpath. The weather seems to have turned a little bit. It's cooled off and you can definitely feel the odd spot of rain in the air. Great views from up here though, even though the clouds are beginning to gather, definitely. Now, of course, I'm not expecting to get underground at either of these sites, if we can even find them. You can't normally explore old coal working minings. They're usually very unsafe and there's lots of hazards, not least bad air, gas and that sort of thing. But I'm just curious to see what remains on the surface, if anything. Well, that's the first site that I came to look at, and there's apparently a shaft in there somewhere, but that looks very much private. It's been built over with what looks like some new houses. Well, back at home, and I've been looking online to see if I can find any information about these shaft sites, and this one, it seems, was Mickley Colliery. And it had a liquidation sale in 1877, so obviously wasn't doing too well. And they sold off all the headgear and some winding and pumping engines. But then in 1908, there's a record of it employing 78 men underground and 14 men on the surface. So it's obviously back in operation. And it seems to have gone in and out of business until sort of the early 1900s, first decade of the 20th century, and then it just sort of disappears. And obviously now there's houses built on the site. The other shaft is shown on the 1850 Ordnance Survey maps, but it's shown then as being abandoned, so I guess that's ancient workings that are much older than this one. Well, I'm not sure we'll get to see much in terms of mining remains, but it's definitely a very pleasant little walk through this old lane. Yeah, what they said, eh? Now, according to my map, the shaft should be somewhere on that tree line just there. This hedge is pretty substantial and there's a solid stone wall and barbed wire fence, so I'm not sure we'll get in to have a look at it, but we may not be missing much. The Coal Authority are very keen on capping all the old coal mine shafts, and there may not be any trace at all left on the surface. But yeah, that's definitely where it was at one time. Wander a little bit further down this lane and see what we can find. Well, the path continues on down here, so it does look very nice. I might wander a little bit further down there and see where it takes me. Yeah, that point there, I think, is where that shaft is. But there's just no way of getting to it without clambering over all this barbed wire fence, and it doesn't seem like there'll be much worth that effort in there. Yeah, obviously that's private property in there, it's the farmer's field, so we won't go trespassing through there. Sometimes you come looking for these things and there really is just nothing to find. Didn't really expect much, but it's been a pleasant walk nonetheless. Anyhow, It's an absolutely fantastic view from up here. I'm going to retrace my steps back through that little lane and see if I can make this a circular walk with perhaps another footpath. Well, this is turning out to be not a bad little first trip back out in the motorhome. Very pleased with how the shower went. A little bit concerned about those problems with the 240-volt fridge. But it's a very nice campsite and actually a very nice area we're in. It's not on the main tourist trail, I guess, being just outside Sheffield, not quite in the Peak District, but sometimes it's nice to come to these less obvious places and to have an amble about and see what you can find, even if it's just a nice walk down a little lane. Coming to the end of the foxgloves now, and to the end of the blackberry flowers, but there'll be a good crop of blackberries later in the year perhaps. Yeah, so that area over there where that sort of grey building is where that first shaft site we visited was, so not very far apart. So yeah, probably was the same colliery. Good crop of flowering thistles too. The old bees do seem to like them. Old farm here's got some handsome looking pigs and a collection of pretty handsome looking bulls too. Hello mate. Well, that was a pretty pleasant stroll, but there is a little bit more drizzle in the air now, and I think it's going to come on to rain. Not brought my coat with me, rather foolishly. So I'm going to head back to the campsite now. Having a bit of a chilled out day today anyway, and got a nice sausage roll waiting for me there. So I think a sausage roll and a cup of tea and maybe a bit of a read of me book. Well, I think I got back just at the right time. It's started raining a little bit heavier now. Oh, well, Nicky's woken up and we're playing Scrabble on the iPad. You can probably hear it is absolutely chucking it down outside now. We're very pleased with this Outdoor Revolution Midi air awning. It provides a very useful extra space for when we're camping, doesn't it, darling?
I love it. I did my fitness in here this morning, didn't I?
You did?
And the lady who I told I was doing the class with couldn't quite believe there was sheep in the background, so I took the picture. It was great.
Well, it's about time we had some dinner, and tonight we're having... No, it's not chicken. It's some nice duck. Look at that, look. Lovely. Well, I reckon that's about it for the day. I've had a lovely meal and a pretty restful, relaxed day. So, going to turn in for the evening, maybe read me book, have a cup of tea, have a bit of a snack, and then off to bed. Well, it's Sunday morning and we've had a pretty slow-paced, relaxed morning. Got up a little bit later and just been mooching about, having breakfast and shower and stuff. Emptied the toilet cassette, of course, which is always a joy. And pretty soon we're going to pack up and head off, and I think we might have a drive into the Peak District. Well, the Peak District was absolutely round with people, or is absolutely round with people. Everywhere we went, there was nowhere to park. So we've actually come further out. We're in the White Peak now. We're not far from Monsell Head, and we've just pulled over in a little lay-by, and we're going to go for probably just a short walk. It's not a bad spot, nice view.
It's hilarious. Now you see cartoons of people running when they're little babies and everything goes at once. Well, that's my Alex. Every time he runs it makes me laugh. Once he ran towards me and his trousers fell down. How romantic was that?
It's absolutely cracking view from up here. Look at that, look. Wait for me, old girl. Glad we found this walk. It's such a lovely day. I think everyone's come out to the Peak District, is why all the main areas are pretty crowded, but we haven't seen another soul apart from that Duke of Edinburgh party early on heading the other direction, and it's absolutely gorgeous here.
This one sometimes are a bit easier than the other one. weren't allowed for short legs, these things. There you go, that wasn't as bad as some of the others. Well done, Nick. Well done.
Just a short stroll really. Just got to head back to the road about 100 yards ahead of us and then walk down the road back to the van. And I think then we might have a little bit of lunch. There we go, back to the van. Well, I guess there's nothing else for it now but to head for home. So that's it for this weekend in Derbyshire. Well, that's all for now. If you enjoyed it, press like, subscribe if you want to see some more, and ring the bell to be notified when we upload something new.